I'm David Paulides. And for years, I've tracked the impossible. The baffling disappearances that law enforcement and search and rescue teams can't explain. We call them the missing 411 cases. Right now, I'm standing at what I consider an epicenter, the Bear Creek Overlook, high above Victor, Montana. You drive 9 miles west out of Victor, then climb 4.5 miles of winding switchbacks to get to this view. It takes time, effort, and commitment just to get here. We are here today because this is the last known location of Barbara Bullock, who vanished without a trace back in 2007. Her story, like so many others we document, defies every rational explanation you can offer. Before we dive into Barbara's case, I want to share a letter we received because it offers a shocking glimpse into the strange phenomena we encounter worldwide. This letter came from an engineer working in Doha, Qatar, thousands of miles from any national park. He described being near his compound, close to an industrial plant. One evening, he set out for a run, aiming for his usual route, but he writes that he suddenly felt himself becoming conscious that I was on another route. I had not chosen this route. Here is where it gets truly unsettling. The object of this strange redirection was 200 to 300 meters away, a polished, seamless silver thing about the width of 2 cars. It was not aerodynamic at all. In fact, it had odd square protuberances sticking out. For 2.5 weeks, he struggled to approach it. He felt a constant physical struggle to even look at it directly. A palpable, repulsive force was pushing him away. He concluded the object was actively maintaining a boundary. He realized he couldn't see any visible support beneath it. It was simply hovering 1 to 1.5 meters off the ground, completely silent. He had a strong, chilling suspicion the object wanted to keep people away, and the effect would be the same as a wall of pure energy. This repulsion or misdirection is a terrifying recurring element in the missing 411 research. It suggests a conscious attempt to divert attention or perhaps physically repel people away from something unknown, something hidden in plain sight. Now, let's talk about this exact spot in Montana. In 2007, 63-year-old Barbara Bullock and her husband, Carl, lived nearby. Barbara was an experienced runner, in peak physical shape, not prone to panic or misjudgment. On the day she vanished, she drove up here with a family friend, Jim Ramaker. They hiked up to the scenic viewpoint, which gives you this breathtaking, though smoky, view of the valley below. They were standing right here. According to Jim, Barbara was about 40 feet away from him. He turned his back for less than a minute, only about 40 seconds, he estimates. And when he turned back around, she was gone, completely and utterly vanished. Barbara was carrying a backpack with a light coat, but more importantly, a loaded .357 Magnum. She was proficient with that weapon. If she was lost, she could have fired 3 shots, the universal signal for distress. She never fired that gun. The search that followed was massive and sustained. Canines, helicopters, technical climbers scouring the sheer 3,000-foot drop right here. Cadaver dogs were eventually brought in weeks later. Nothing. Not a single trace of her. The sheriff's detective, a 30-year veteran, was left stunned. He publicly stated he had never encountered anything like it. Think about it. A person in peak health, armed, vanishing silently from 40 feet away. No slip. No struggle. This is the quintessential missing 411 case. An experienced person in an isolated area vanishing completely and silently. The kind of disappearance that seems less like an accident and more like an extraction. The phenomenon keeps happening. Just recently, we saw the unsettling disappearance of Jennifer Gambos, 34, in Glacier National Park, another high-incident area we have documented extensively. Jennifer left her dog at a daycare, parked her car at Logan Pass, and set out on the Highline Trail. The dog was never picked up. The gear was still at the campground. Like Barbara, she was an adult making conscious, documented choices. And halfway across the world, in Australia, we have the case of Anthony Elfalak, a 3-year-old nonverbal autistic boy. He vanished from his family's remote property in the Yango Valley, gone in a brief, unguarded moment. The age and the rural terrain fit the difficult search profile. What is truly alarming in these cases is the lack of any trackable sign. No scuff marks, no broken branches. It is as if the earth simply swallowed them whole. I have investigated thousands of these cases, from the Yosemite disappearance of Stacey Arris, who also vanished instantly in full view of a witness, to the strange clusters of people found deceased in areas searchers had previously cleared. What connects a seamless silver object that repels humans in the Qatar desert and a seasoned runner who evaporates from 40 feet away on a sunny day in Montana? The answer, I fear, is something truly terrifying and unknown. I believe we are dealing with a phenomenon far beyond a simple misstep or even animal predation. I believe these are the telltale signs of a dimensional rift or a deliberate, unseen force manipulating our reality. We track these high-incident cluster areas, Yosemite, Glacier, the Northwoods, not just as remote landscapes, but as points where the barrier between our world and another may be perilously thin. The silver object in Qatar wasn't just parked there. It was actively maintaining an invisible boundary. It was keeping something hidden, or perhaps waiting for its brief window of operation to open. When Barbara Bullock vanished, the force didn't push her away, it simply consumed her. She may have been standing on a specific nodal point, and in that 40-second window, a temporary tear in reality opened and closed. That explains the lack of a sound, the absence of any physical evidence, and the detective's total, profound confusion. She was quite literally removed from our dimension. The chilling terror is this. The force doesn't seem to care who you are, a 3-year-old boy, a hiker, or an armed runner. When that unseen door opens, you are at the mercy of something that operates completely outside the laws of physics as we understand them. It has been 14 years since Barbara vanished from this very spot. Her husband, Carl, is left with a broken heart and an empty answer. The official files are cold. They are baffling. Until we understand what is causing these geographical and statistical anomalies, the list of the missing 411 will only continue to grow. Be careful in the wilderness. Be aware of the strange points on the map, because some places are clearly on the edge of something terrifying, something other.